What's up guys, Jake with TN Tactical coming to another special video. Today, got a little something different for you. Today, we are actually looking at the Core Essentials Molle Tactical Battle Belt. Core Essentials actually reached out to us a couple months back about possibly reviewing one of their belts. We said, sure, absolutely. And we chose to do the tactical battle belt that they offer, simply because we don't actually have one and we've never really had much experience with battle belts. I've had regular everyday carry belts, of course, competition belts, but I've never had a tactical belt that's actually meant for like duty use, like serious, hardcore use. So they're kind enough to send one of these out to us to check out and review. So we are going to go over all the specs and features and kind of show you how I've got mine set up based on my experience, which is honestly nothing. I've never been there nor done that. But despite that, I think you'll get some use out of it and maybe get some ideas of how you may want to set one of these up for yourself if you decide to go with one of these. Let's see how she does. All right, so the Core Essentials Battle Belt comes in just under 140 bucks online. It actually features two belts very similar to a competition belt. You've got an inside belt here, which is simply just secured with a little bit of Velcro here. All nylon, reinforced as well. And that is a 1.5 inch diameter, so it should fit most of your belt loops. Now, as far as the actual outside of the belt goes, it does actually feature sort of like a belt buckle clicky system here to kind of adjust. And of course, you can always just push it in, it tightens, and it holds right there. There's a lever down here so that if you need to actually release it, you just kind of push in like away from you and it'll come back out. You have to hold it in to pull it out, which is kind of hard to do, like holding the belt at the same time. But you see it, there it is. Very straightforward. This outside belt is actually 1.75 inches, and you'll see here this is a tactical belt, so it's got a bunch of different little molle loops here all throughout the entire length of it to actually help you attach different things and customize it however you like. Now, one cool thing about this belt is it's actually one size fits all. You can actually fit this belt to fit anywhere from a 24-inch waistline all the way up to a 44-inch waistline. The way they do that is it's actually the full length belt, like the maximum range. And then you actually cut the belt down. I use just a regular pair of scissors. You cut the belt down using a special measuring tape that they give you specifically for this belt to kind of match your waistline. You cut down both the inside belt as well as the outside belt. Be careful, because once you cut the belt itself, that actually kind of voids any returns you can do. So measure twice, cut once. But besides that, it's really straightforward and it's really not too difficult either. And the inside belt just sticks to the outer belt, much like a competition belt, just Velcro all the way through. Very strong Velcro too, I gotta say. Now on the outside belt, the one that you actually attach everything to, you'll see you've got the belt buckle here. You actually have to cut this side down. You've got two screws here, as well as this little latch that comes open. It's got some sharp teeth on there. What you do is you essentially put this belt buckle onto this end that you've cut after you've measured it properly, of course. Put in the two screws, and then you put this latch in, and it actually holds it in with those teeth. So that way you don't have to worry about like coming loose. And I gotta say, it is like very, very sturdy and durable. I mean, I don't have any feeling that this is actually gonna come out and start flopping all over the place. And even if it were to actually come loose, I mean, you've got all this Velcro running through the entire thing that you really wouldn't have to worry about it. It just, you wouldn't have a belt buckle. It shouldn't come loose at all. So this is my belt set up here the way I've got it. Starting over here, I do have this holster that I picked up off Amazon. And by the way, all these attachments that I've put on here are mostly from Amazon, except for the first aid kit. But this one I actually got on Amazon. I put my PSA Admiral 1911 in there. This particular holster will actually fit pretty much anything, Glock 17s, 19s, SIGs, Stacatos, you name it. Regardless of what you might end up carrying, I'm using this 1911A because we're still shooting it for review. 1911 may not be actually my first go-to choice. I'm probably more likely to go with a Glock 17 or 19. Moving further back here is the individual first aid kit. I've added some things to it, such as a tourniquet, which I'll show you all the stuff here actually. Pretty easy to actually take apart and unfold. You essentially just grab this handle down here and you just pull up towards like my chest, and it'll unfold the entire thing. Now, I'm not going to actually unfold it right now for you because it's a complete pain in the ass and I'm out here filming by myself, but here's a little bit of footage for you to kind of see all the stuff I have in my first aid kit. Could it be better? Yes, of course, but you know, there may be some things here that give you some ideas of things you can add to your first aid kit as well. So that's the first aid kit. Going back to the front and to the left side here, the first thing I've got here on the left side is a flashlight. Again, this is an Amazon El Cheapo pouch for flashlights. This is actually a Streamlight ProTac HL, but this is actually made for Surefires. It's kind of like one size fits all anyways, and you can pretty much use any flashlight you might have laying around. In addition to that, it does have sort of an adjustable knob here to kind of change the angle of however you want it to sit. Personally, I just like to have it like that, and it's good enough for me. In addition, this flashlight is able to move, so it's not actually going through the MOLLE loops, which I like in case I need to just kind of separate more here from the mags I can. The mags are pretty firm as well, but they can slightly move. In case I'm running and stuff, they can kind of adjust my body as I need to. See, it kind of digs in. I can turn that like that, just with this particular flashlight holster, and it's not really in the way. So I do like that too. Just past the flashlight, we've got 2 mags here. Again, these are just kind of universal nylon magazine pouches that will fit pretty much anything. Of course, I've got my 1911 mags here. It's got a lot of stretchiness and elastic to it, so you can pretty much fit double stacks, single stacks, whatever you need to, really without any issue. These do kind of slightly move around just a little bit, but honestly, that's okay because as I'm running, I may want them to kind of slide or move around, so that way they can adapt to the position of my body. Now, lastly, back here, I've actually got just like a little drop bag. It's got a little drawstring here. You pull that and kind of like a trash bag, it'll actually tighten up so that nothing will easily fall through there. If you can see that, that's kind of tightened up the opening there. Now, I got this because I was thinking to myself, you know, I might be sitting here doing stuff. Let's say I just need to run and stow something away real quick. Let's say I dropped a mag or whatever. I can just grab it and just right back here, almost like my back left pocket of my pants, it's right there, and stowed away, and I can just keep going and I don't really have to worry. You'll notice that I don't really have a lot of stuff up here in the immediate front because I want to be able to kind of crawl or go prone without anything kind of like getting messed up here. I've got a lot of space back here as well. Same reason, in case I need to lay on my back or something. Yeah, I've got the first aid kit and that might get in the way just a little bit, but right here in the small of my back, I've got it completely empty and open so that I can actually lay on my back without really any serious problem. What, you thought we were going to do a tactical review on TN Tactical without shooting a gun? You'd be sorely mistaken. Now, going into this review, one thing I quickly realized upon receiving the belt was that I wasn't able to use any of my competition gear. So I couldn't fit my holster on, I couldn't use my mag pouches or any of the other cool stuff because the belt thickness of this tactical belt is 1 3/4 inches. A lot of that stuff that you use in competition, they're usually made for a belt width of 1 to maybe 1.5 inches at the very most. So I did have to go and get a bunch of like tactical pieces of gear with MOLLE attachments in order to kind of fill this belt out. Hence why a lot of the stuff on here is Amazon pouches, because I was trying to do this to kind of demonstrate the potential of what you could do for your own belt loadout. With the belt itself being at roughly about $140, it is a little bit more expensive than some other battle belts I've seen online. That being said, I do think this is something that you get what you pay for. You could go with a cheaper belt for like 50 or 60 bucks, but from my experience, anytime you go with the cheapest option, there's going to be some corners that get cut one way or the other, whether you realize it or not. I think for an actual good duty use belt, I think this is the way to go. It's durable, it's very comfortable, and it seems very well made, very well thought out. Would I recommend it? Absolutely. Just keep in mind, I've never had any kind of military or law enforcement experience. Never been there, nor have I done that. This is all mostly just theory crafting and based on my limited experience I have and what I think should be optimal and feasible for my own needs. Your needs may be different. Regardless of what kind of gear you might want to attach, as long as it has like MOLLE associated with it, whether it's those black plastic MOLLE clips, or if it's just kind of like how some of these are, where it's just a piece of nylon strap that's folded over and snapped together to fit in there, you should be good to go. I really like the way this is all set up. Now, if there's any significant changes of my opinion on this battle belt or the accessories and loadout that I've got, you'll be the first ones to know. I like it. And I think you guys will like it too. Guys, that's going to wrap it up for this video. Remember, if you enjoy this kind of content, make sure to like, subscribe, comment down below. Have you ever picked up a battle belt? Maybe a core essentials like this one? Love to hear from you. We will see you. Well, I'm not being very tactical, am I? We will see you next time. What's up, guys? Jake with T and Tactical. Test, 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 test. We good? Test. Test, test. Yeah, we're good.